Personal power mean to you? During this new moon partial solar eclipse in Aries, this is the question we want to ask ourselves, because the main theme that came through for the collective tarot reading was personal power reimagined. Along with it being reimagined, we are redefining what personal power means to us. As with all my tarot readings, I like to look at the cards that come through before I even shuffle and begin. The first message that came through was the archetypal energy of the athlete. This makes perfect sense with Aries energy, that bold, fearless energy. The archetype of the athlete indicates strength and willpower in its light energy. But the shadow energy of that is false sense of entitlement. The more that you lean into willpower and strength and rising above, rising to the challenge, you are going to feel a lot lighter when it comes to these very dramatic endings that we're going to be seeing again, personally and collectively. And on the collective scale, I really want you to think about false sense of entitlement and how we get to that with the old concepts of personal power and what that means. The next message that came through was a question. Are you living your dreams or the dreams of someone else? Just a reminder, we have the North Node in Pisces. Pisces is the dreamer. North Node is our future, where we are heading. And so while we're reflecting, along with a Mercury retrograde, reflect on whether or not the path you are walking down is of your dreams or someone else's, because this is a big aha moment for a lot of people. Again, a partial solar eclipse, we're going to have a lot illuminating aha moments, epiphanies. With this, connected to our dreams, connected to our future, this is a great thing for you to journal on. A card that came through in the Green Witch Tarot was the Broom. Clearing out energy. Wonderful thing for you to do for any new moon, especially this new moon, is to clean your house. Also, what's great to do is to take some salt and put it in the corners of your house before you vacuum and then clear out that energy. This is going to really help you have a reset button. This new moon is a major reset button for us personally and collectively. And as I always say, the more of us that can individually harness this energy together, the more power we have collectively. Past life energy of baby came through. Now, this is a really complex one. This has a lot to do with safety, security, protection. Protection is another message that was coming through a lot. But for the collective in general, I do see this as the birth of something, like a newborn, a new birth of a way of thinking, a way of living, a way of acting. Because I think the biggest thing with Aries being the ruler of Mars is that we are redefining how we take action. The way that we take action, the way that we see our power, the way we assert our power. Mars, how you assert yourself and how you assert your power. This is where that reimagining of our personal power comes in, because the way that we take action now isn't necessarily the same way that we took it in the past. And the power that it has, we're noticing as well, seems to be growing stronger. This next one, I do think we do need to pay very close attention to, the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords indicates fearless communication, standing up for what you believe in, standing up for what you believe in is right. But a reminder, the swords are communication and we have Mercury retrograde. So we do want to take some time to be mindful of what we say, be grounded when we say it, and make sure that whatever we are speaking is coming with a connection to the heart and not just impulsive mind, okay? This is where that shadow energy can cause us to say things perhaps that we just, hurt people, hurt other people type of energy. So just be careful of that, because while we're being strong and protective, we just want to make sure that we're not too impulsive with our thoughts and communication. And also communication with our thoughts, okay? What you're thinking about, what you're focusing on, the more you focus on what is moving away, the more that will stay in your life. And that is really tricky, especially with all the chaos, all the drama, all of this false sense of entitlement that we are seeing. That is going to want to get your attention. And so the more, again, that you can focus on whatever your dreams are, focusing on centering your attention on that, the more you're going to be seeing the newness coming through. And if for some reason you do feel like you really need to speak your truth, It would be a great idea to have some turquoise. Turquoise was a liquid crystal that came through, and it indicates protection and wisdom. So if you're holding on to some turquoise, if you're wearing some turquoise, maybe some turquoise makeup, doing your nails, having a turquoise shirt on, whatever that is for you, having that connection to that is going to keep you centered, going to keep you connected to that source energy as well, because that's what we want to be connected to when we are choosing to utilize Aries energy to stand up for what we believe in. And last but not least, this is a big one. Six of Cups came through. Now, this indicates nostalgia, especially things that are attached to us emotionally. The days leading up to this new moon, really ask yourself, what are you releasing from the past? What identities, what emotional ties connected to personal power are you leaving behind? Because the time for action is now. This is definitely an action-based energy that we are stepping into. Talking to your shadow in the mirror is going to be the best thing for you. I feel like because of Mercury retrograde and how much we are reflecting and how much we are rethinking and reassessing, we already know the things that are preventing us from moving forward. So the more that you can just sit every day and talk to yourself in the mirror, have a one-on-one with your shadow, the more empowered you are going to feel to take the action necessary to move forward with this wonderful energy that we're getting. And without further ado, I present to you the Collective Tarot for the new moon in Aries partial solar eclipse. All right, let's get into it. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Modern Maven Media, and comment if it resonates or if you do have a question. And thank you to all my subscribers. I'm really excited for this new moon. And this is where I think it's really important to recognize and understand the different paths that everyone is choosing to take and how much of an influence that shadow work, embracing your shadow, has to do with the paths we are choosing, with the attention that we are focusing. So when you do see certain energies that maybe are in contrast to what you want, recognize it as what you are moving away from, all right? Because we have to also understand that when we do see certain energy, there is a light and a shadow to all energy, and all of that is within all of us as well. So even though it's probably going to be loud, it's probably going to be bold, it's probably going to be fearless, we will probably also just see, though, more of that energy of the shadow side of Mars energy, right? Because Aries is the ruler of Mars. And unfortunately, that can really mean that we will be seeing people with that false sense of entitlement that we saw in relation to the cards that came out while I was clearing. You know, just seeing the Tower and the Emperor right now, like, this is where I go back to what I said. Gosh, I think this is all the way back in the 2023 with that energy of, you know, Pluto and Capricorn, and instead of embracing, you know, the water barrier coming and bringing in the water, they're like trying to claw their way out, you know, refusing to change it, if you will. And so here's where I'm going to say again, focusing on your abundance, focusing on what is coming in, not just for you, but for the collective, and using that bold, fierce Aries energy for positive change. Because here's where, like, they want you to think that you're very limited. And as far as control, they want you to believe that the only person who holds that coin is them. And welcoming in the Piscean energy of possibilities, and that we have more than one solution, and those solutions can be emotionally and physically beneficial for everyone. That's where we want to focus. And again, I love the idea that we have Neptune entering Aries the day after this new moon, because that's taking bold action when it comes to our dreams. So don't just think about your personal dreams. Think about your collective dreams. Write down your personal and your collective dreams for this new moon, because both are so important and intertwined as well, right? Okay, so again, a solar eclipse ending the eclipse season. Mercury retrograde too. Also, please pay attention to that, because when it comes to this, when all of these new opportunities, emotionally fulfilling opportunities can come your way, be careful, because not everything might be as what it seems. There might be some snakes in the grass with you know, energy vampires, con artists that are coming to you with offers, you know, like this is where it's like, you know, getting that offer that's too good to be true, but you're wanting to believe in that Pisces energy, right? And so here's where it's like standing your ground, having strong boundaries, so you don't, so you can avoid somebody basically sucking your energy. So just be careful for that, because with so much optimism and so much ambition, it's very easy to be susceptible to people who want to feed off of your energy, okay? Very, very interesting. But yeah, the strong boundaries especially too, you have to see like what is it that you're fighting for, and fighting for not in a sense of the, you know, old way of thinking of fighting, but what are you just applying your energy to, okay? That's just so very important. Strong boundaries really coming out again. This is strong Aquarian energy too, okay? So we've got to remember all of that forward thinking energy. Yeah. This is where I think if you have stuff from childhood bubbling up, a lot of people who are forcefully trying to communicate, forcefully trying to tell their truth, just always remember where it's coming from and pay attention to the attention that you give it. All right, that's the only thing you can really control, is being completely engaged, but also being the master of your emotions and nurturing your dreams, okay? But just with those dreams and with the King of Cups, because we see him a lot, you have to ask yourself, again, going back to what came up in the pre-shuffle, are you living your dreams, or is it the dreams of someone else? And how are you differentiating that? And how do you know you're on the path of your dreams? And are these dreams that perhaps don't align with your energy now, or is that your shadow telling you that they don't? So all these questions we should be asking honestly prior to this new moon, so that we can really be focused on like, this is my lane, this is my path, and I'm going to pursue it. Okay, so let's see what we got for the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. When it comes to the shifts that we are experiencing, there's going to be some really clear-cut endings to bring about the new. Okay. So just pay attention to that when it comes to, love seeing that. Okay. When it comes to that energy, just know that like the endings that are coming, they're going to be pretty swift is the word that I'm getting. Ah, okay. Well, this has me jazzed. The hairs on my arm are standing up. Okay. This is perfect. I hope you're excited. Oh, you can't even see this card. Okay. Hold on. Let's get to this reading quick. Okay, so overall energy for this new moon is so exciting. Justice. Now, this is Libra energy. The scales of justice being brought back into balance. Now, if you remember, this was a very strong message for the Pisces, or not Pisces, I'm sorry. It wasn't Pisces. For the full moon eclipse that happened, what day was that? Hold on one second. We just had it. Full moon eclipse in Virgo that happened on the 13th, okay? And so justice and the scales being brought back into balance, abusive authority, all of that was the pre-shuffle energy that came through with that. And now it's coming to the forefront of the reading for this new moon. So again, the yin and the yang. The one thing, the collective is very clearly seeing the modes of operation of the definition of justice. What does justice mean? What does having the scales mean? And so this is something that's globally taking place. Okay, so wherever you live, just recognize the things you're going through, everybody around the world is going through. Okay, the scales of justice though. Okay, Lady Justice, if ever we needed Lady Justice, right? And so here's where it's interesting too, because we have the pendulum here, right? And we have to pay attention to what we focus our energy on, because it does affect the pendulum. If we focus too much on the light and ignoring the shadow, the collective shadow, it's going to swing too far in one way. If we just focus on all of that gunk that we are clearing, we're not giving enough of the light with that optimism. You know what I mean? Like optimism versus cynicism and all of that stuff. Like it's just really finding that that focus on realism and optimism blended together. Okay. What we need more of, the Nine of Cups. This is amazing, because here's where, again, even though justice is the main energy, we can see the abuse of authority side of that, right? We can see how things aren't fair and balanced, and that can cause us to lose hope. But the Nine of Cups here is saying, make that wish. You have expansion by bringing in that Piscean energy. Remember, the North Node is in Pisces. Your dreams, you are meant to pursue your dreams now. You are meant to see your dreams come into reality. And to have Aries be that activation that is allowing you to say yes to that is unstoppable for all of this. So this is a personal message too. So this is what I love, is we have so much balance of the collective shifts and our personal shifts happening at the same time. But again, wishes do come true. And so here is that new moon, whatever it is that you're dreaming about, you apply your effort, because we'll get to that too, but you have to believe in the wish, okay? You have to believe in the wish. Jupiter, expansion of that, all right? Wishes do come true. And we have the right amount of the star, wish upon a star. We need more of believing our wishes come true, because if we make a wish upon a star, it will. Now, I want to go back to this death card here, okay? Because here's where, sure, you might see things like crumbling and toppling, but it's here to build anew, okay? It's here to build something new. And I'm not going to get into anything political, but there is somebody who said recently about this energy of a car, and you take the gas out. Well, you could, with just taking the gas out, you can go get a gas can and fill it up and then bring it back to your car. But when you don't change the oil, you ruin the whole car and you have to build it back up, right? And so that's like the energy that we're feeling, where it's like, this is where we need to recognize the power in rebuilding is really what I'm getting. And so also, though, just making a wish upon a star, like here's where it's like we do have that Aquarian energy coming in to remind us that like we are the creators of this reality. And when we collectively, this is major arcana, collectively come together with our individual wishes and recognize that it's about the high energy, you know, harmony on helping all is how it shall be. And everybody deserves to pursue their dreams and express their dreams. And when that cynicism comes up, ask you where it's coming from, okay? But this is also interesting. So what we need less of is the Four of Cups. And so here's where justice, again, so important, because while pursuing our dreams, we cannot blindly pretend like the things that are happening aren't happening. Okay, so here's it's trying to teach us something. This is Moon in Cancer, but it's this idea of like, oh, well, what I want isn't even here yet. And it's like, but you're not supposed to be, that's coming once you focus on these, okay? And so here's again, if all you're thinking about is the where you want to be, you're missing the reality of making that happen every day, okay? And so we can't get, the dissatisfaction cannot translate into inaction, okay? Dissatisfaction cannot translate into inaction, especially with Aries energy. Aries is fearless, goes after it, doesn't make excuses. Can it cause burnout? Yeah, but like, so that's again, balancing it. But just make sure you're not allowing the cynicism to drain you of your energy and not doom scrolling and stuff like that, okay? All right, well, you can change the world. The world, okay, Saturn. A lot of Saturn and Pisces energy we've been experiencing, right? Completion, synchronicities. This is success, but a major karmic completion. So what you can really change is recognizing, it feels to me like we might not feel like we're already on the other side of something. And in order to, this person takes off their mask, they feel fully liberated, right? And so check out your sun sign too, like whatever your sun sign is, really focus on that energy, because you're meant to take a mask off in a certain sense here. And how you choose to see yourself, how you choose to see the world is a choice. Okay? And it's a big choice. But there's a lot of aha moments that are coming around this time. And with those aha moments, I really want you to see that the world that we're in is not the world that we left behind. Okay? What you need to accept, 10 of Cups. So there's so much Pisces energy here. I'm so excited to see it. A lot of water energy, okay? And there's a lot of Piscean influence during this time. Especially too, the same day, Mercury in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So talk about dreamy energy, all right? And let me just read it quick from astrology.com. While this is an imaginative aspect, try not to let your thoughts run away with you, as you may jump to conclusions and panic about something. That's where this Four of Cups is coming from. While you have your head in the clouds, keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. The balance. Head in the clouds, firmly planted on the ground though, okay? But 10 of Cups, everything in its right place. Mars and Pisces, asserting yourself with that empathetic, dreamy, giving, loving energy with the warm fire back here. You can pretend that's, or you can imagine that as Aries, you know, satisfaction, contentment. And so you do need to accept like all of the good that is in your life, even with this, this new energy that's coming in. Okay. Giving thanks and having the satisfaction of those times, you know, where you can feel like everything feels like it's right place. Hold on to that and give thanks for it, okay? Where things are heading, the 7 of Wands. Now, this is feisty. So this is Mars and Leo, all right? And again, with all that energy of Aries, the main message of 7 of Wands is asserting yourself with integrity and passion. And so here's where, again, abusive authority, we're going to see a lot of individuals coming through where they are bold and fearlessly standing in their power because they have taken maybe the hard road sometimes, like taken a certain path, but that path is all set on integrity, ethics, morals. You know what I mean? Like, these are the people that are going to be rising up, and they're the ones who are going to say, like, there's a line drawn in the sand, and if you are not on this aspect, like, you're out type of energy, right? So you have to take a stand for what you believe in, and whatever is coming through with the scales of justice, with us seeing things clearly, with the scales being brought back into balance, you have to stand your ground with integrity, right? However, also with that kind, compassionate energy of Pisces, because we do have to remember, none of us can get on our high horse, okay? So we all have a light, we all have a shadow, all right? But when it comes to certain things that we refuse to compromise on, when it comes to basic human decency, that's what this message is really about, okay? It's not the, like, I told you so energy. It's just more of a, like, no, like, it's either this or, you know what I mean? Like, so very powerful. But again, this is personal. So I feel like we had this recently too, where major arcana and personal empowerment. And actually, I think it was the last reading. I wish I could remember. But yeah, but the fact that it's a global collective situation bringing about personal empowerment and bold, fierce personal empowerment. I am super excited. Okay, so let's see what past life energy is affecting the collective for the new moon in Aries. Okay, bold and fierce and exciting. I'm so excited. Like, what is something in you personally that you see, like this urge that something keeps calling to you that you want to do or say, you know, a trip you want to take or a career you want to pursue or a relationship. There's this bold, fearless action that's needed. Phobias. Okay, so this makes sense because the one thing that will be holding us back is fear. And we just have to remember that fear is a tactic our shadow uses because it thinks it's keeping us safe, because it thinks it knows you know, the right way, if you will. And so collective shadow too. What is it within us? Collective trauma, right? Generational trauma, individual trauma. What is it within us that prevents us from doing what makes us happy? Okay, what is it related to our emotional satisfaction that prevents us from doing it? You really need to ask yourself that this new moon, because this is, if we can get this, again, that shadow work journal that I always talk about, please check it out. It's so amazing. That's the one thing that's really going to make a difference, I would say. Okay, so let's see what archetypal energy, what kind of characters we're going to see in the collective during this. Okay, that's way too many people. But you know what? We're obviously here to see all of them. So again, with chaos, standing firm in your energy, what I find fascinating though is this fell right on justice, and it's the artist. Light attributes, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Shadow attributes, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as a starving artist to elicit pity. So that's interesting too, because we saw that shadow energy of the athlete in the pre-shuffle messages with a false sense of entitlement. So that's very fascinating. But that falling on justice, I think too, like if you are a creative and you can express something and let people see life in a new way, this is your message to do it, okay? This is your, yes, please do it. And so whatever that project is for you. All right, so we also got King, Warrior, Teacher, and Virgin. And so again, virginity is a social construct. We're not going to get into that, but the idea of pureness, right? And again, that pureness I think has to do with that Seven of Wands. But obviously we're going to see a lot of light and shadow attributes to King energy, enlightened, benevolent leader, benefiting those in charge, shadow energies, excessive feelings of entitlement. Again, rulership without restraint. Okay, so that to me, remember, this is the biggest thing too, is that there are going to be two ways, the light and the shadow, the yin and the yang. You're going to be seeing both of those. Are you seeing more of one energy over another? Warrior light attributes: strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, and conquering the ego. Very cool. Shadow attributes: trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted upon others. Again, we will be seeing both light and shadow. Teacher, light attributes: ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom. Shadow attributes: manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. Well, I'm glad I picked up all of these because they're very important for this new moon. All right, light attributes: maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Shadow attribute: fear of intimate union. Okay, let's see here. Let's do the Green Witch Tarot next and see what message we got there. Ooh, lovely. All right, so we have butterfly, transformation, joy, and beauty, and cup of tea. We got this before, patience and reassessment. All right, and so there is, I think when it comes to our dreams, you really do have to ask yourself, like, what is it that I want? Why do I want it? And if something else is calling to you, like I said, if something else is calling to you, make sure you act upon that. Because here's the deal too, is like, this is actually more interesting because of the big butterfly and the little butterflies. Because what I really get to though is like, whatever this initial dream, like let's say you do have other dreams, this message is really saying like, do this one first and then all these other ones are going to start to grow. But do that first one because there's a fear, a phobia that prevents us from doing it, from pursuing it. And with the patience and reassessing why we want something, it's going to come to light is what I'm getting. Okay. Let us do an empowering question. What empowering question is going to help the collective during the new moon in Aries? Solar Eclipse. All right. Oh, I like this. How would I want to be encouraged right now? What would I want to hear? Because you need to tell it to yourself. This is something too, say it in the mirror every day. All right. If you say this in the mirror every day and can reprogram your brain, that's going to have a huge impact. And again, not just for yourself, but for the collective. And how or in what way do I experience myself when I'm alone? Yeah, a lot of this really does, it's a lot of internal work that is going to make a collective impact. And so I keep saying this, in this age of Aquarius, I hope we start recognizing the way we choose to apply our personal energy has a huge impact on the collective when we all do it. Hence why I'm only doing collective readings now. The more of us I can concentrate our personal energy into a specific vibration, the more power it has, okay? All right. And, oh, that's another thing too that kept, because of justice and seeing things clearly, like clarity is a huge message with this, responsibility, cause and effect and responsibility. I keep getting the message of the man behind the curtain, but really the person behind the curtain. And so like, this is where too, that clarity that we're collectively getting, a lot of people think that they can use this trickery to deceive people and, you know, sleight of hand where, no, it's not me, it's them doing it. And the clarity, everybody's seeing the people behind the curtain, right? Like the wizard isn't distracting anybody anymore. And so that clarity, that collective clarity, is going to work in the collective benefit. Okay, lodestone, earth embrace. I love this because we do really need to remember to stay grounded, especially we have no earth energy. Yeah, and we don't have a lot of earth energy, honestly, at all. Just doing a quick scroll. I don't see any earth. I don't see any major transits this month with earth energy besides the middle of the month with Uranus and Taurus. So yeah, make sure that you stay grounded, okay? Lodestone is a wonderful energy to have with you. All right, well, I think we're ready for our sign by sign messages. This is a very, like I said, oh, that's the other cool thing. Remember that King of Coins we saw where he was holding that coin and you see this king, like, focus what are you giving your attention to, okay? We're all guilty of focusing our attention on things that we don't need to as a form of distraction, myself included. But please just see this outcome with personal empowerment. I'm so excited. All right, sign by sign. What does Aries need to see for this Aries new moon? And happy birthday to any Aries out there. I didn't say that for Pisces last time. I am a Pisces myself, so happy birthday to any March Pisces belated. Cool. Aries, Page of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. You have to believe in the power of your dream, especially if this is a dream from childhood. The emotional satisfaction is so important. And if you don't realize how important it is to growing whatever it is you want to grow financially, creatively, like you're going to get the satisfaction of like when you realize the power that your emotions have. And honestly, everybody collectively is going to start recognizing this, that your emotion, like what you're emotionally feeling, the impact it has on your world is so important. And this to me says that the activation that's coming in for you during this Aries new moon is the aha moment of that connection and how much it's going to help you pursue what it is that you want. Because when it comes to increasing money, enjoying the comforts of your home, like your emotional well-being is going to be a huge impact or make a huge impact, okay? So yeah, make sure you enjoy those simple pleasures when you can, okay? Ooh, Taurus. Okay, so this is fascinating. You get 2 cards as well. All right, Taurus, Judgment, Eight of Swords. There's an area of your life where you're feeling stuck mentally and you're not seeing the way that Pluto can help you liberate yourself, okay? Answering the wake-up call liberation. You can unstick yourself, and there's some situation where you think you can't, and it could even just be with overthinking. If you've never done tapping is amazing. EDMR is amazing. So give those a shot if you can, and just don't get... it's almost too like the Piscean energy is like the shadow aspect of all this Pisces energy is having an effect on you where you're overthinking too much. So do some tapping, please, because you're meant to answer the wake-up call. And so for some reason, I feel like when it comes to this integrity, standing in your power and integrity, and asserting yourself with passion, there's some feeling of restriction that you think you have right now. All right, Geminis, what do Geminis need to hear? Nice, Gemini. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles can indicate an unexpected gift coming to you. It's about, again, the balance of the scales as well. And something coming into balance for you financially. It can be related to, your mental or physical health as well, like feeling more back in balance. Perhaps all of this chaotic energy has kind of like had you in a tailspin. And now you're finally feeling like there's a lot of balance coming back. And this generosity, like this can be you, right? Either you're giving the gift or you're receiving the gift. But either way, it's a very wonderful, kind energy. And with all, like I said, with all the chaos and you being a mental sign, it's refreshing to see that. So always remember during this time too, when it comes to your finances, that you contemplate your relationship with finances, because if you do feel like things are in flux, you have to sit down and have a talk with yourself when it comes to how you see money, how you want money to work for you, and if your beliefs from before are the same as they are now. All right. So yeah, your relationship with money is affected by your relationship with others and your relationship with yourself. And so that, if anything, you should be contemplating at this time. All right, Cancers. What do Cancers need to hear for the Aries? Oh, Cancers. This is exciting. Ace of Swords. When it comes to communication, you're feeling very empowered. And I do think that with that fellow water sign of Pisces having so much influence, you're feeling a lot more powerful and bold to speak. You're feeling a lot more determined to speak your truth. This is moving forward in a new direction, having a new sense of authority. And so when this sword comes into your hand and you have that power, how are you going to use that power? Okay, always be careful, because remember, you with Pisces, you need strong boundaries with that Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Water signs, boundaries are the hardest for us. And so just make sure you maintain strong boundaries, be confident and determined to move forward. And don't be scared of new ideas. Actually, that's another thing. Don't be scared of new ideas, because with all of this change, the star, all right, that's a whole new world, a whole new venture. Don't be afraid of new ideas, Cancer. All right, Leos, what do Leos need to hear for? Leo, Seven of Cups and Two of Wands. All right, so there's a choice here to be made. A new direction. You have to ask yourself, do I want a new direction? There are a lot of opportunities that are opening up to you, and now is the time for you to ask yourself, what is it that I truly want? Because this determination, I feel like, you're getting a determination to move forward in a new way. Two of Wands is Mars and Aries, okay? So when you channel your willpower and desire, just remember that all these opportunities are going to open up to you. And then we have to keep moving. Okay. So we can't let that Leo burnout happen. When all this stuff opens up to you, okay, now which one am I going to make? Which one is right for me? Not just my ego, but right for me, because we want to make the choice that is emotionally satisfying. Okay. Okay. Virgos. What are Virgos? No Virgos. That's too many. Okay. What do Virgos need to hear? Oh, there it is. All right, Virgo, Seven of Wands. So where things are heading, the outcome of this new moon, with you getting this card, that full moon eclipse in your sign has you charged up. You really are feeling confident. You really are feeling bold, and we need a lot of Virgos. Now remember, because Virgo, the South Node is in your sign. And so there's a lot of things related to Virgo energy that we are moving away from, and Virgo's needing to embrace Piscean energy. And when you do that, I think this is the result that we get, is the Seven of Wands, all right? Being bold and confident, asserting ourselves with passion. And I'm just really loving this for you, okay? So take a stand, Virgos, for something that you believe in, and make sure that you're just confidently move forward, but with that compassionate energy of Pisces, okay? All right. Let's see. Oh, Libras. Okay, what are Libras? All right, Libras. Page of Swords. Okay. So where did we also see this? Was it in, I think it was in the beginning. Page of Swords, when it comes to communication, be very mindful of your communication, especially with justice, because that is ruled by Libra. So the energy of justice and clarity and cause and effect and responsibility you're feeling personally, right? So the collective energy you're feeling personally. Be careful with your words. Forceful communication is something highlighted with this, and feeling like when you have that sword in your hand, you want to speak it a certain way. Just be mindful, okay? Forceful communication we don't want right now. And so here's a chance where when you have the power of that sword, make sure that you also listen as much as you speak, is really what this is saying. Because if there is forceful communication that comes up, like that you feel like this urge, that's something to go through with in your journal and ask yourself, like if you're feeling triggered, why am I feeling triggered? All right, Scorpios. What do Scorpios need to hear for the Aries new moon? Scorpios. What's interesting too is seeing that death card. I almost feel like you're like, yeah, oh, this is fascinating. Scorpios, the Hierophant. You have an opportunity to help guide people through this, but the manner in which you do it, I want you to be very mindful of, okay? Also, my camera just was 3434, so look up that synchronicity too and see what that means. You have a gift when it comes to transformation and recognizing when things need to end, right? Transformation and accepting that. I just want you to be mindful of how you choose to speak these words and guide others, because we want to have like some Pisces compassion when it comes to that, and some Cancer nurturing energy as well, okay? So just know that you might have a larger audience to speak and teach, and again, let's go to teach. Okay, so again, you have the choice here, Scorpios. Light attribute, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom. Shadow attribute, manipulating, teaching negative skills or traits or destructive skills. And so here's where it's like, you just have to ask yourself where your energy is aligned when you're choosing to guide people, is what that message is telling me. This is interesting too, because now I'm like noticing all of these energies of the characters and the collective reading are so similar. So we're going to be seeing a lot of ourselves intertwined with each other. All right. Like a lot of people that maybe like online, you've like had a parasocial like connection with, and like we're starting to see like these connections are becoming more normal. I don't know how to describe that, but like the veil of like air communication and how it, there's like distance, like that distance isn't going to feel as distant. Okay. All right, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear for the new moon solar eclipse? Sagittarius, the Hanged One. All right, so we got some Neptune energy here. Neptune ruled by Pisces. Neptune actually, so the next day, remember, Neptune enters Aries. So I'm just going to share this from astrology.com. Slow-moving Neptune will visit Aries briefly before fully settling in next year. With the planet of dreams and inspirations in the bold fire sign, we are empowered to challenge old and broken systems and pioneer a better world. And so here for you, Sagittarius, I think you recognize that there's a big change on the horizon for you. And perhaps once Neptune fully enters Aries, like what this is telling me is this new moon is going to give you a glimpse of a big new path that's opening for you, but the time is not now. And for you just to accept that there is a big life change happening for me, but the timing is not right now. Okay, but it's happening. And please recognize too, there are certain signs here with big, bold, red spiritual energy. Taurus, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, you specifically have some important spiritual aspect to this, okay? Okay. I'm not gonna look. Okay, so Capricorns. What do Capricorns need to hear for? Okay. This one fell out first. Capricorn, Knight of Pentacles. It could be a really awesome offer coming in, new moon, new opportunities. If this is something you want to pursue, I feel like you're contemplating whether or not you want to pursue this, but if you take action, whatever it is that this new opportunity is, someone coming in with an offer is a very lucrative one. And so ask yourself, if you are contemplating this new offer, why do you feel like you need to contemplate it, okay? All right, Aquarius. What do Aquarius need to hear for the new moon in Aries? All right, Aquarius. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this is fascinating because it flew down. This is also saying an offer coming in, something like, so this one's for Capricorns, you guys, this one's off the ground already, right? This to me is like almost like the startup idea, but with it falling flat like that, I really want you to ask yourself if this opportunity, it might seem like a good idea, but perhaps it isn't. Let's just get a clarifier here. Perhaps this new opportunity, because remember that, that Mercury retrograde in Pisces, oh yeah, that Mercury retrograde in Pisces is telling me that not everything might be what it seems, but that there is something coming in, but perhaps we need to further investigate it, okay? We need to further investigate it and the people that are connected to it. So, and again, because like I see like, you know, the rose sunglasses, rose tinted glasses, do not get too optimistic, but also don't get too cynical, okay? Just do your research, have faith that the right opportunity is coming for you, and that it'll be more than one opportunity, perhaps two. Maybe it might be 3 opportunities, and then you choose the right one. Don't choose the one that's just financially well. Choose the one that's emotionally gonna make you feel happy. All right, Pisces, we'll do Pisces and then we'll close this out. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Please hit that like button, subscribe. Look at seeing the sun there on the bottom. Pisces, 8 of Wands, lots of travel. This is Mercury and Sagittarius. When it comes to Pisces, your connection to spirituality, you are really meant to speak your truth in that sense. This also indicates travel, you know, a lot of connections coming in via email communication, a lot of forward movement, a lot of confidence. So all that activation of your season really activated some confidence in you. And this is, you're meant to seek out new experiences. You're meant to live life to the fullest, apparently. So I'm really excited for that energy. This is on a personal level too, where there's a sense of individuality here too, like paving a new path on your own, Pisces. And so make sure you recognize that it is leading you to the sun and your inner child's happiness. So let's do one final clarifier for the collective, and then we will close this out. Ace of Wands. Yeah, okay, so look at that power here. Strength and discipline. All right, strength and discipline will take you to where you want. And look at that. The Ace of Wands for us. The power is back in the power is back in the hands of the people. Okay? Individual power with strong convictions for truth and human decency and love and compassion, all of these wonderful things. This is astrologically here for us, okay, to create something new. So again, thank you all so much for joining me. As always, shine your inner light. We've got this.